How can a place be a monster? Look no further than the haunted house. This great prompt comes from monsterancher. Thank you so much for supporting the Indiegogo. One might initially think that in the case of a haunted house, the monster is whatever entity is doing the haunting, a ghost, a demon, etc. In some cases, that is true, and a haunted house is just the happenstance location of monstrous goings on. But we can also take a look at Shirley Jackson's incredible The Haunting of Hill House to experience a house as the monster itself. Note, I'm not talking about the Mike Flanagan series, which has the title and a couple of character names the same as the original, and that's pretty much it. But the book features a group of people staying in the titular Hill House for the purposes of determining whether the rumors of its hauntings are true. The protagonist is Eleanor Vance, a repressed woman who has been stuck for many years caretaking for her unkind mother. Over the course of the summer, Eleanor has vague but terrifying experiences. The most memorable to me being a scene where, in the darkness, she holds the hand of who she thinks is Theodora, another member of the investigative team, and a woman with whom she has a lot of sexual tension. But then when she sees Theodora in the room, she's too far away. So whose hand was she holding? Throughout the novel, specific ghosts are de-emphasized. The real entity is the house itself. Jackson opens the novel with, quote, "No live organism can continue for long to exist sanely under conditions of absolute reality. Even larks and katydids are supposed by some to dream." Hill House, not sane, stood by itself against its hills, holding darkness within. It had stood so for 80 years and might stand for 80 more. So the house is a monstrous microcosm of the world itself, the conditions of absolute reality, that necessitates the warping and twisting of dreaming in order to survive. It consumes those whose own inner worlds are as warped as its own darkness. I know this prompt wasn't about this book in particular, but to me it really encapsulates how a house can be a monster in the most effective way. It is a site of both transformation and stagnation. If you step in it, you might become something else, but then you will be stuck there, part of the geography of monstrosity. To throw a shout out to a collection of place-based horror that does a lot of this same work quite well, The Gathering Dark is a YA folk horror short story anthology that doesn't always feature houses, though some of the stories do, but does heavily rely upon these monstrous locations. I'll be using this collection in Youth Monsterology, my educational program that contributors like monsterancher helped so generously to fund. Check out this program and my teen and adult monster book clubs in the description, and thank you again, monsterancher, for the support.